not a promoter, right? So you like self promoted?
Yeah, we bring a lot to the table, so we able to offer
You self
things,
promoted?
and if the promoter, if they agree with it, if it align with them, then they're gonna take it. So that's how we able to just to operate along these promoters and just keep fighting.
Oh, that's good. So like the main thing is to stay busy and get fights. And who chooses what opponents you face? Like who's responsible for that? The opponents that
Just
you face.
my team in general. We have a whole lot of matchmakers. Try to get the best opponents possible.
Okay, that's what's up. So what do you think about the current landscape in your division? Like in the featherweight division, we got Angelo, Leo, we got Bruce Carrington. Do you see yourself fighting any of those in 2 years, or like the
Yeah,
other?
it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. All these guys, they current champions right now, and it's possible within the next 2 years. You could easily just get a call and be like, hey, we're a title opportunity. Like, well, you taking it or not? And so we definitely prepare for it right now. Been training, as if I'm training for a world title right now for whoever it is. I don't really care who it is. Opportunity is an opportunity. I just need to get, just take me to the door, and just make my presence be felt.
That's right. I saw your fight. When you with Guevara, and it was you went 7 rounds, but me and my son were watching it, and I was telling him about you. I was like, man, this guy's the future, the featherweight division. And he saw your fight, for the first time, and he liked what he saw. He saw with my family, and I was like, yo, this guy's the truth, man. Like, and I think you had 8-0 at the time. I think he was 8-0
Yeah,
at 8-0, and I
yeah,
like
probably, yeah.
and what do you think the boxing fans haven't seen from your style in the ring? Like, what do you think that they didn't see yet?
I'm gonna be honest, they haven't seen much. They just seen, um, they haven't seen my full capabilities. Just because a lot of my fights, either my opponents, they weren't really there to win, or they was just trying to survive. So they haven't really seen much at all. It's a lot more to my games, a lot more to what I could do. So with these next opponents that's in line with these, just climbing up the ladder type fights, that's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, the top 10 fighters, like fighters that are top 15, top 10. Because I
Yep.
see the potential you have. Like, I see what a lot of people might not see because I really observe like the capabilities, like your footwork, your jab, the way you set up the combinations. You're not just a power puncher. I see more beyond meets the eye because I see like you're like you. There's so much more you can show. It just depends on the opponent that's in the ring with you. Like if you have an opponent that
Right.
your level, you're gonna just blow them out the water, and people are not gonna get to see what you really can do. But I see beyond.
Exactly.
I see beyond what you show in the ring because I know all it takes is the right opponent to just take you to the limit, and then that's when you actually surpass and show others that there's more than what you're seeing. This is like
Exactly.
and I see that. And as let me ask you another question. How is it growing up in Newark and being a Boricua? Like, how was that for you? Like, with the Puerto Rican culture, etc. Growing up in Newark, New Jersey, in the hood.
It's great. It's a lot of people. For those that don't know, like I live in New Jersey, heavy populated Hispanic community, heavy populated Puerto Rican, Dominican, just Hispanic in general. So, it's good. Like I don't know. It's my normal, so it's hard to really say. I feel as though like if it was the opposite way around, where I might have moved, and now I'm seeing how people adapt to me. It'd be different, but this is my normal. Like I walk around freely. Everybody love me. Just last night I was out eating, and they like, oh, keep some. So I got love, and it's not just in my city. It's in the whole state. It's like
Yeah.
I don't even go out in my city. If anything, I go out to like the other cities where it's more chill. If anything, I try to stay away from my city. I
Yeah.
live here, but it ain't the best neighborhood to just be chilling in, so to say.
I understand, like I grew up in the hood in Marble Projects, Brooklyn. Like, like we come from like underprivileged neighborhoods, but how does it feel you being from Newark, giving hope to the people growing up in Newark watching you? That must really bring a lot of it must invigorate you, like to feel like like you're giving hope to like those people coming up in your neighborhood.
Yeah, a saying is like it's like a neighborhood hero almost, and I feel like that's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like that's like kind of what I am in a sense. It's just like I'm hope to a lot of guys and opportunity to everybody else too. Because just how I'm coming up, it's opportunities along the way for other businesses, young adults to also just ventures where they could just hit me up like, hey, I got this going on. How could we collaborate or come up with a partnership? And I'm always open to it because I
Oh,
just I just like the hustle. So I
yeah,
like when other people around me is just eager to just destined to be great. So
yeah,
um, but yeah, like my I wouldn't even say like Newark is an underprivileged city. I just say it's dangerous. It's not even underprivileged. You walk around here and the infrastructure is at the par. Like even the cost of living over here is pretty high. Like
yeah, yeah.
maybe not compared to like a New York, but apartments over here is like one bedroom apartment 2,300. So it's like it's not like underprivileged. It's just rough. It's just rough.
Well, it's not underprivileged, but it's like a divide, right? Like there's two kind of people. There's people in the hood, and there's people that are not in the hood, right?
Yeah,
Like that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't say underprivileged. I say like it's like an unequal divide,
yeah, yeah.
like an unequal divide, not underprivileged because there's opportunity. You just gotta broaden your horizons and just try to like
Yeah,
think out.
yeah, is if anything, we just surrounded by violence. It's just it's a
Yeah,
lot of talent out here. There's a lot of ways to make it out, but not a lot of people make it out. They either fall victim to the streets
yeah,
or anything in between. So
mhm,
that's why I say it's not really underprivileged because
yeah,
you'll see a Lamborghini or a Bentley around the city.
yeah.
Like, but it's just probably whoever driving that they probably ain't doing the right thing to be driving that. So
Yeah. So no,
it's
yeah, yeah. I
like,
see what you're saying. I know. That's so real what you just said because we always survive. Man. When you come from the bottom, we know how to survive in the
exactly.
bottom, and we know how to go to the top because we hungry, we want it. It's just different ways to go about it, and the way we go about it is not always right. But you know, a lot of times you can't really blame because like some people, they not everybody's the same mentality, and not everybody's gonna do the same thing that you're gonna do. So at the same
Yeah,
time, we just gotta pick and choose. We survive.
yeah, for
Everybody.
sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, me, I'm the type of person where it's like, everybody do what they gotta do, as long as your bills pay, as long as you ain't hurt nobody and you treating people with respect, I
Yeah,
don't care what you do, just hopefully,
yeah.
like everything work out for you. That's how I look at it, man, because it's rough. It's rough out here.
It's rough, man. You can't blame them for trying to survive like that. Nobody's trying to promote nothing like that. But at the same time, I come from that life, and I see people like they have to do what they got to do, and they could do it with honor. That's like there's ways to do it, but like we can't judge nobody because not we don't know what I would do if I wasn't in my situation. I could have been doing something like that, or you.
Yeah.
We don't know. Nobody's perfect,
Yep.
and we're nobody to judge. We got to encourage. And what got you into the sport of boxing? Like you wanted this, or it was like a combination of your father, your mother, or how did that work
Yeah,
out?
no, my parents never really wanted me to box. Just growing up, in a rough city, uh, my dad just had a coach train me at a young age, and it just kind of stuck with me, just learning how to fight. And I used to always kind of get into fights growing up too, so that was just like I was a kid that Um, no, it was just instilled, like, it was just fighting was just like a natural thing. It's like everybody for my cousins, we'll have family occasions,
Yeah,
Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we all fighting. So
yeah,
fighting wasn't nothing foreign to me. So it was just like I took that and I was like, I was just always eager to go to the gym because it's like, all right, I know I'm gonna get better. And what, like, that's the last thing I want to do is get beat up. So I always wanted to go to the gym, continue to get better. And then
yeah.
it just continued, like the desire and the passion just continue to grow over the years.
So you love it. It's like it's part of your survival. Growing up where we
Yeah,
come from, it's just something that's
exactly.
natural. We need it, but it's a
Exactly.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Like I feel like what you said about your cousins and you fight your family. Like that's the same thing. My biological father, he didn't raise me, but he would have me fight with my biggest cousin. Like I was scared of him, but I had to fight him. And whenever my father
Yeah.
would bring me to the house, he said, "I'm paying you up, man. I'm gonna have you fight with Jalito." And I was like, I gotta fight him again. So I would fight though. I hit him. I didn't back down, but he was bigger than me. But
Yeah.
everybody, like the other guy, like Eddie, he wouldn't fight with me. He had too much respect for me. He loved me so much. He would never fight with me. But he would fight with the brother that would kick my ass. And then, you know, my other cousin, I don't want to call him out like that because but he didn't want to fight. He was like my cousin said he was easy. He wasn't a challenge. He said that at least I fought back. That's what he liked about me, that I didn't give up. But now
Yeah.
everybody's built. You know,
Yeah.
I
Everybody's
want,
not.
yeah, I wanted to box, but I chose music instead because like they would have programs in my hood in Marlboro projects in Brooklyn. We would fight against Coney Island, but after a while, like we moved out, and then I moved to Long Island, like in my teen years, like 15 years old, and then like I started getting more into music, and then I left that. But yeah, so I want to ask you another question. What do you think about um, Felix Trinidad getting awarded the Ring Lineal Magazine Championship belt, like after like 2002, like they gave him the Ring Lineal Championship for being the man to beat the dominant fighter at 147, De La Hoya, and beating Fernando Vargas at 154. Man, I know that's before your time, but I know you were a student of the game. Like, how do you feel about Felix Trinidad getting that award?
Yeah. I say it's better late than never. Like just to be recognized for your hard work, for your dedication, even if it's 20 years later, 25 years later, it still felt good. It's still kind of, I'm pretty sure he appreciated, even though it's such a long time.
Yeah,
Just to be, just for your hard work, your dedication, your sacrifices to be acknowledged. It's like, damn, like, all right, it didn't go unnoticed, or I didn't do it for nothing.
yeah,
So if anything, I'm just more so happy for him, happy for his legacy that is continued to build even years later after boxing. So that's motivation. That's motivation just to always work hard because you may not be recognized now, but you'll get your flowers later on.
yeah. As long as you get them, you pay your dues, and as long as you get them, that's all that matters. So everything's a process. Like people don't appreciate the process. They want everything to happen like right away, the glitz and glamour. But the story should be celebrated too. Like how you got there. Not everybody wants to celebrate. Oh, like the glamour. But that's not
Yeah,
the whole story. The whole story is the struggle, the come from the bottom, from the hood, rising from the ashes and just becoming great. That's like a story that it motivates many people that need that motivation. But but yeah, like I like your attitude, your mentality. You seem like a really, really intelligent brother. You went to school, right? You went to college?
yeah. I'm in college right now. I'm about to graduate this spring.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you, appreciate it.
What are you studying?
I got a major in psychology.
Oh wow. College. That's major.
Yeah,
Like that's like a humanitarian spirit right there. Like that's something God gave you, and you have that.
Yeah.
I
Thank
see
you. I
it.
appreciate that.
I see the patience in you, man. Like that's so important in boxing, in the ring, and you know you need that.
Yeah.
That all the tools. It's not only physical. It's mental mostly boxing. You know, it's
Right.
attitude,
Exactly.
and you have the proper attitude, man. Like you're gonna go far with that attitude, man. Like the way you're going and the way your skills. Like I wanted to ask you a question because everybody answers this question different. Like when you're fighting, you're preparing for a fighter, right? For an opponent. What do you study more, their strength or their weakness? What do you prepare for? What more, their strength or their weakness?
Really just their habits. That's what I try to study. I try to study their habits. Something that they constantly do over and over again. Um, because they strength and their weakness, it could vary. They may
Mhm.
look strong in one fight, and they may be
Mhm.
have great head movement in one fight, and the next they don't really exhibit the same thing. And it just shows that each fight is gonna be different. So you just gotta see what's the habits,
Oh,
what they constantly do throughout each fight.
that's a great answer, man. Like that's the like because every boxer has a different mindset and a different approach. So you said their habits. That's key because your habits is what you are. It's really like a
Yeah,
reflection of who you are.
exactly.
When you study their habits, you're really studying your weakness. Kind of say that, right?
Studying everything. Studying is what you constantly do. It's what you do unintentionally. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people they may box naturally just going one way and they don't even know. But because I study their habits, I know something about them that they don't know. Or that they just you know,
Because it could backfire. That could be a strength, but it also could be a weakness.
yeah.
It depends on the habits, what leads them to do that. So that's
Right.
really you said that because like when they ask Felix Trinidad that question, they say he studies their strength. He studies their strength
Okay.
more than the weakness, and I could understand that too. Because when you study the person's strength, that's like you know, that could be so many different ways. Like you said, habits, right? So maybe he meant it like that too, habits, but he said it in a different way, like like in a more general way, like strength. So because the strength is the thing you have to worry about the most, but at the same time, it could be a weakness too. So it all depends, like how the
Yeah.
box sees it. So that's
True.
key.
True. True.
That's key. Like those answers, like wow, it's like every boxer responds different when I ask him that question.
Yeah.
But that's a dope answer that you gave me. Your last fight, you fought Almandarez, right? In April, right? You knocked him out in the first TKO in the first round.
Yeah. First round.
And how did you feel about your fan base? Like it grows every time you go to a fight. It grows, right? You notice that any like how your fan base is growing.
Yeah. That's for me it's like that's kind of what I expect. It's just each performance. Each time that every time that I go out there, I try to be better than my last outing. So with that, I continue to gain new supporters. My fan base continue to grow. More people just watching out for me, and they keep seeing me. And they're like, "Dang, this kid just keep winning." So yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. So, how many amateur fights did you accumulate before becoming pro?
About like 80, maybe a little less than 80, but around 80.
Oh wow, that's a lot. So, do you think that's beneficial that you had all those fights before becoming pro, or you think it's better to become pro like with less fights?
Truthfully, a lot of fighters they typically have more fights. Like a lot of guys that's like at the high level, they usually have like 100 plus fights.
Yeah.
Me, in my career, I started at the age of 12, so it's like if
Yeah.
you think about it, by the time like some fighters start at 7, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
5 years of me that they got on me. So they probably got 5 years of fighting. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not for me. It's like in the middle. It's not too much, not too less.
It depends though. Like, that's good what you said, but at the same time, when they start early, it could debilitate depending on the fight too. In different situations, not all. But I feel like
Yeah, that's
having
true.
more fights could be detrimental too, depending on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It all depends, man. Everybody's in a situational. If you got 200 fights and you a beast, like like that's your journey. So
The
me,
journey. Yeah,
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 like me, I started at 12 years old, and
yeah,
I just never stopped. So I got 80
yeah,
fights, but I fought on a high level. I fought at the nationals. I fought internationally, continentals, like the highest level of boxing. Amateur boxing. I was there. I competed. I was going to the Olympic qualifiers. I just decided to turn pro instead.
yeah. That's good. I like the way you said that's your journey because it's not a one size fits all. Like a lot of
Yeah,
boxers, they have a predestined plan where it turns out the way it did for them. And it doesn't mean that it's bad if they have a lot of fights. It could be their journey. Like you said, it don't
yep, yep.
necessarily have to be like it's detrimental. It's everybody's journey is different. That's true. That's a good point. And there was another question. Like I wanted to ask you. Do you rather fight the way you are now, like free agent, right? Or you fight like more like free agent, right? You rather fight like that than be tied to like a promoter, like let's say like a top rank, but like boxing. He's not in boxing promoting like that. He's with
Yeah,
the zone now, right? You don't want to be tied to a promotion, right? Like you just want to be free agent like that, right?
yeah. I mean, it's all situational. Everything all depends on who you are. Your career. Um, the thing is with me and my team is like we gonna make the best out of whatever it is. Everybody like, oh, stay free agent. But if we was to sign tomorrow, everything gonna go right and everything gonna go as planned too. So it's it all depends on who you are. However, some people they just don't have the intellect to understand what they signing, and sometimes they just sign a whole career away. With us, that's not the case. If we sign, if we do anything, it's gonna be 100% beneficial for us only.
That's smart, man. You're a smart brother, man. I like the way you're moving, and you're doing everything fight by fight. You're not putting pressure on yourself, like you said. With Xander Zayas and Jerome Bruce Ennis. Sometimes you got to relax. You can't be too serious about it, but you can't give a prediction, right? And Jerome Bruce Ennis versus Xander Zayas, but you can't do that, right? Because they're both, your friends, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not even just a friend thing. It's just I don't go against the grain. Like it's just it's just like I'm gonna support my peoples, and they both my guys. So
that's what's
I just wish them both the best.
That's what's up. I like that. I like that attitude. Last question, because I know you got to do things and you're training, right? So, what do you want people to remember you for when you retire from boxing? I know it's a little bit like surpassing, but what do you want people to remember you for when you retire from boxing?
Just me being different, me being unique, having my own path, having full control over my career, being able to do everything that I want to do in the ring, just being unique in every aspect, how I fight, how I handle the business aspect, how I interact with my fans, with my fan base, that's really what I try to do. That's what I'm trying to bring to the game. Everything else is already scripted. Everything else is like you can't really recreate anything. It's already written. So
That's
it's just I'm just trying to be, just coming through the game in my way. Just attacking on everything and doing it how I want to do it. And that's what's just going to separate me from the rest.
best version of yourself and being authentic, like the way you are. God bless you, man. I'm a fan of what you do, and I
Thank you.
look forward to your next fight. And where can they find you? Where can my fans that follow you and follow boxing find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at official Keith Cologne, YouTube at Keith Cologne. I drop YouTube vlogs, fight vlogs. Some of my fights is on YouTube, so you could just check it out for those that haven't watched or saw any of them.
And where can they watch this interview? Tony also knows boxing. I want you to say it if you don't mind. Where can
Yeah,
they
you can
find
watch this. You can watch this interview on Tony Also Knows Boxing.
it? Yeah, my man. Keith Cologne, man. God bless you. It was an honor and a pleasure to interview you, man. You're so intelligent, very respectful, very honest, and I love the candidness in your and the way you answered the questions. A little rough in the beginning, but hey,
Appreciate.
man, everything happens for a reason. There's always a process. And
Right.
God
Appreciate
bless
that.
you. God bless you, my
God
brother.
bless
I
you
hope
too.
you have another interview as well in the future.
All
All
right.
right.
Take care, my guy.
All right. God bless. Tony also knows boxing. Subscribe to my channel. You're tuning into my channel. Peace. One love.